I really want to push back on the idea of whether or not having a trans identity is a mental health issue. Trans activists have been adamant that it isn't, that it is possible to be born in the wrong body, and that a dissonance between someone feeling like their sex or feeling like another sex is a perfectly normal developmental path. And one of the reasons I want to push back on this is that it is stigmatizing people who have mental health issues. The trans activists are so concerned that someone might suggest that being trans-identified is a mental health issue, that they're forcing society to accept this absurd notion that someone can be born in the wrong body, that our chromosomes don't determine our sex, solely to prove that they don't have a mental health issue. What this indicates to me is that they're saying that having a mental health issue is so horrible, is so awful, is so inconceivable, that they're willing to bend reality in order to suggest that they don't have a mental health issue. And for those of us who do have mental health issues, those of us who do suffer from mental illness, this is incredibly stigmatizing, because it's saying that having a mental health issue is so bad that we're going to deny reality in order to help these people know that they don't have a mental health issue. And first of all, this is not helpful. If you have somebody who has delusional thinking, reinforcing that delusional thinking is the worst possible thing you can do for them. That's not helpful in any way. Trans activists are now insisting that society affirm a delusion that these people have. And when I say delusion, I'm not being divisive or derisive. I'm not trying to put anybody down. And that's the point, is that saying that somebody has delusional thinking should not be a put down. It should not be considered so heinous that we have to prevent people from saying it. Because there are people who have distortions in their thinking. And to suggest that rather than address that distorted thinking, that we alter our behavior and our language in order to accommodate these individuals, is to suggest that mental health issues are something that are so horrible that we need to pretend that they don't exist. And we don't do this with any other case. And thank goodness we don't do this with any other case, because there are a lot of situations where people need help. They need intervention. And unfortunately, trans activists have done such a good job of convincing society that believing that you can be born in the wrong body, that it's normal to self-hate, to hate yourself so much that you want to change your body. They've convinced society so much that this is normal that now there are laws that require therapists to affirm this delusion rather than being able to help someone resolve it. They have passed laws that require teachers and healthcare workers to affirm this delusion rather than helping somebody resolve or manage this delusion. And in no way is this helpful to the delusional individual, because what it's doing is it's saying the belief that you have about yourself, that you are inherently flawed, that there is something so wrong with your body that you have to change it, often with really invasive medications. That's not helping. That's reaffirming that person's self-hatred. And self-hatred is not a good thing. So I really want to suggest that affirming transgender individuals with the idea that they're born in the wrong body is actually really damaging to mental health, both for those who are transgendered, but also those who suffer from mental health issues. Those of us who suffer from mental health issues do not need our reality affirmed. Somebody who is suicidal does not need to be told, you're right, the world would be better off without you. Someone who's suffering from anxiety should not be reaffirmed and told, you're right, you have every right to be incredibly debilitatingly anxious because things are that bad. People who suffer from PTSD should not be told, you're right, you should be responding as if every little trigger is as traumatic as the initial thing that caused your trauma in the first place. These are all really things that are harmful to mental health, affirming these very negative thought processes. And yet, we're being told that we need to do this with transgender individuals. I want to insist that in and of itself is actually transphobic. It's more transphobic to tell somebody that they were born in the wrong body and that their delusional thinking is normal than it is to say, we love you and we care about you as someone who has this identity, and we want to make your life better by helping you to live with your thoughts rather than altering your body in ways that are harmful. I would like to say that the basic transgender movement as it stands right now is stigmatizing those with mental health issues and doing extreme damage to those who do have a trans identity.